All right, let's talk travel. Specifically, how your phone has totally hijacked the whole process of planning a vacation. We're going to break down how technology is reshaping our adventures and what that means for different generations.
No, really, think about it. Can you even picture unfolding one of those giant, impossible to refold paper maps anymore? The way we plan a trip has completely moved from the physical world into our pockets. And that's changed, well, pretty much everything.
And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? We went from the old way, where a travel agent or a magazine basically told you where to go, to the new way, which is this chaotic, exciting, endless conversation happening on social media, in reviews, and on apps. So, where are we getting all this from? Well, our guide today is some really fascinating research on tourism in Thailand. It's not just about what's happening now, it's looking at all these social media habits and trying to predict what travel will look like all the way out to 2030. All right, here's our game plan. We'll start with how social media became our new suitcase. Then we'll get into a generational guide to travel. We'll look at who we actually trust online, check out Thailand's marketing playbook, and then we'll take a peek into the future of travel. So first up, the social media suitcase. Before we get into who is doing what, let's talk about what these platforms have become. You know, your phone is no longer just a camera for vacation pics. It's your booking agent, your tour guide, your review site. It's the whole shebang. And that shift is what created this entirely new kind of tourism. And that brings us to the heart of it all, the generational guide. Because let's be real, your grandpa doesn't use Facebook the same way your little cousin uses TikTok. So let's meet the 4 key groups of digital travelers. First, we have the baby boomers. Let's call them the cautious planners. They're on platforms like Facebook and reading blogs, but for them, it's mostly about gathering facts. They're way more concerned about privacy, so they're much more likely to trust the official tourism website over some random post they see in their feed. Up next, Generation X, the savvy reviewers. They're also on Facebook and they're pretty comfortable there, but just like boomers, they've got that privacy radar up. For Gen X, it's all about control. They want to manage what they see and find that sweet spot between getting good travel ideas and not giving away all their data. Okay, now things start to get really different. Meet the millennials, the visual explorers. These are the digital natives who live and breathe online reviews. For them, Instagram isn't just for sharing photos, it's a search engine for their next vacation. And yep, they're paying close attention to those personalized ads and influencer trips. And finally, we have Gen Z. The research literally calls them the visual travel generation, and for good reason. They grew up with the internet in their hands. Forget static photos. For them, it is all about short, super dynamic, made-for-your-phone video clips on platforms like TikTok. And if you want to know just how fast you have to be to reach them, get this. According to the research, the perfect length for a travel video targeting Gen Z is just 15 seconds. That's it. You have a quarter of a minute to sell an entire country. Good luck. This table just puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? You can literally see the evolution. Boomers are looking for information. Gen X wants privacy. Millennials are searching for authenticity. And Gen Z, they just want to be entertained. Okay, so we know what platforms each generation is on, but who do they actually trust when they're scrolling? This next part is all about the people who are actually shaping our travel plans, whether we realize it or not. First, let's just quickly define influencer marketing. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's basically just using people who have a loyal online following to recommend something, in this case, a destination. It's pretty much just word-of-mouth marketing for the internet age. And here's where we see a massive split. Younger generations look at influencers and see entertainment and inspiration, another source of ideas. But older generations, they're a lot more skeptical. They actually worry that a bad review from an influencer could seriously hurt a tourism business. But here's the thing, it's not just about the big-name influencers with millions of followers. This quote from the research really nails it. All that stuff your friends post, the random travel blogs you find, that's what's truly shaping decisions. In a way, we've all become influencers. Okay, so that's all the theory, but how does a country like Thailand actually use this information? Let's crack open their marketing playbook and see what we can learn. First off, why is this so critical? Simple, follow the money. This chart makes it crystal clear that millennials have the most spending power. So figuring out their online habits isn't just a fun project, it's an economic necessity for the entire travel industry. So here it is, the playbook.
boiled down to 3 simple steps. Step 1, you get boomers and Gen X with informative, detailed stuff on Facebook and blogs. Step 2, you grab millennials with beautiful, authentic stories on Instagram. And step 3, you capture Gen Z's tiny attention span with fast, punchy videos on TikTok. And that leads us to our last stop, the future. I mean, technology is moving so insanely fast, what could possibly be next? Well, the research points to a few big things on the horizon. The first one is a huge challenge: misinformation. Yeah, when anyone can post anything they want, rumors and fake news can spread like wildfire. And that's a serious threat to any place that depends on its good reputation to attract tourists. And then there's the other side of the coin, the next frontier. The research predicts that marketing will start moving into even more immersive digital worlds, like the metaverse. We're talking about a future where you could virtually try out a vacation before you even book the flight. So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you're scrolling through your phone, daydreaming about your next trip, just stop and ask yourself, who is really pulling the strings here? Is this your dream vacation, or is it one that was perfectly curated for you by an algorithm?